This could potentially be some very disappointing news for the Bitcoin bulls. So let's dive in and analyze. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. Today we're going to discuss the Bitcoin price and the action inside the chart right now. From a technical analysis perspective, we are at a very unique range here right now, my friends. This, in my opinion, is just waiting to explode in one direction or the other. So we're going to discuss the possibilities of both scenarios. But I also want to discuss some outside external factors that I believe Bitcoin could be closely correlating with right now, and why, if it plays out the way that it may be shaping up to play out, that it could spell some very, very bad news for the Bitcoin bulls here at some point in the future. So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. Now, I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably well aware that the Bitcoin price has largely done nothing for about a month. It's just been consolidating sideways in an equilibrium range, chop, 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 right underneath this macro resistance zone. Okay, this makes a lot of sense for me here that Bitcoin is stuck at this very specific region. I mean, this was where we consolidated for several months after our blow off top. We then back tested and failed again, and right now we are back at this level, which until proven otherwise remains unbreakable. Okay, so I mean, it's only natural that the bulls would see some buyer exhaustion at a level that has proven to be difficult in the past. Let's get this crypto. But what I do like here, my friends, is that we haven't seen any type of major correction from this range, right? We've just seen a ton of choppiness. If we go in here on the daily time frame, you can see, right, up, down, up, down, up, down, but really with no price growth. The price has just remained in this very small area for quite some time. So what I want to do here, instead of looking at, you know, this intraday action, you guys know I'm not a day trader, I'm a swing trader, right? So I'm looking for this next potential swing in the market, whether that's up or down. I really don't care which way it goes. I just want to see a large swing, because that is where I look for potentially life-changing trading opportunity, right? So what we're going to do here is go out to the weekly and monthly timeframes to look at a more macro perspective of this market, and then we're going to tie in the external factors here as well that I discussed in the introduction, which could be bad news or good news if we flip around and look at it in reverse. Okay, so let's get right into it. Now let's go out to the monthly time frame. So if you guys notice here, basically the trend, if we go to the line chart, right, this excludes the wicks. Okay, so we're just going to look at this briefly. The line chart is just where the candle bodies have closed. Now, when we look at it from this perspective, I mean, this does look rather healthy to me, especially if we are to draw a parallel channel around this here. I mean, we could see this in and of itself does look pretty much like a bull flag, right? I mean, again, let's just flip on the candle so you get an idea. It's not perfect, right? But if we only take the closes into consideration, I mean, this does, in my opinion, closely resemble a bull flag here, with a possible breakout right here, right now, right? Just an interesting perspective to look at before we get into some more indicators here, okay? Now, if we flip on our MACD here, what I want you guys to notice is that here on a monthly time frame, we are seeing a cross right now on the MACD, right? The blue going above the orange line. My friends, when we've seen this occur in Bitcoin's past, it has led to extremely favorable price action, okay? Back there, we saw that move break us out from underneath 6,000 all the way up to 14,000. If we go back a little further in history, right? We crossed it here as well, and what do you know, ladies and gentlemen? Ding, ding, ding. Chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. It was actually the end of the bear market, right? That was actually the very beginning of the bull run all the way to 20,000. Okay, so twice in Bitcoin's history, we've seen this occur, at least on this chart here, and it has had favorable results to the upside. We are seeing this cross right here, right now. Of course, past performance does not indicate future results. It's just something to keep on your radar. Now, something else I want to look at also here on the monthly. I'm flipping on the alligator, okay? If you guys are not aware, I was covering the alligator indicator on my last stream. Basically, it's a momentum indicator. When the green line crosses above the others, full candle bodies are above them, and the bands are widening, that is generally a very strong bull trend. When the bands are close together, it's generally a sideways trending market, right? That's basically the way to look at this. So right now, we saw that the indicator was signaling that, hey, we're losing some momentum here. We've been trading sideways. It's even more apparent on the weekly, right? You can see a bunch of tangle and chop here rather than a nice smooth widening band, right, with the action above it, or in this case in the bear market, smooth widening band with all the action below it. Same here on the upside, right? Smooth widening band, all the action above it. Right now, we've just seen a lot of tangle, chop, and indecision for really the past 5 to 6 months, right? And this is not what you want to see in terms of the alligator. You want to see these large, smooth swings to understand. It basically, for me, the way I use this is for a trading bias, right? If we're in a strong uptrend, I'm looking for more long plays than I am short, right? Because the trend is your friend until the end. Doesn't mean that your long plays always have to work out for you, right? There are no guarantees or certainties in trading, but I'd rather trade with the trend than trading against it. For example, in this bear market here, when we were seeing the bands below, we were trading below them with the bands widening, widening, widening. I was looking to ski down the mountain with shorts rather than trying to climb up a mountain that was momentous to the downside. Let's get this crypto. Just the same as trading to the upside here back in 2017. Let's get this crypto. So now that we're looking at this, and we're understanding that from a longer term perspective that MACD has crossed, that we could potentially be seeing a bull flag on the monthly line chart as well. What I am liking here, my friends, is that we are starting to get some widening here on the monthly as well, right? Monthly alligator is starting to get pretty wide again, my friends, right? We did have a little hiccup here where it looked like it was going to converge on itself, but we are seeing some widening action again. If we go to the weekly now, zoom in a little bit further, right? I was just explaining how we've been in a bunch of chop here, right? A bunch of tangly action on the alligator. But if we actually zoom in, mixing into the pot all of the other things we just discussed, we are seeing some possible bullish creation here, bullish construction rather, on the alligator right now, okay? Green line crossed above the blue and the red, all candle bodies trading above them and in an upward direction. That's important for me with the alligator as well. I'd like take this one, for example, right? Right here, we saw the green cross above the others, but this happened, right, when we were in a downtrend, right? We had already painted 2 candles down, okay? Not the same. Here, we are seeing that the candles are generally being painted upwards, okay, in a generally upwards trend, with now the bands widening and the cross here. So for me, that is possible bullish construction. The big problem, my friends, is that we are at our point of huge macro resistance, the absolute line in the sand. You know, if this wasn't here, this would be much easier for me to read and say, hey, this trend looks like it does have some potential pop to it, right? But for me right now, you know, anything is possible here with this huge overhead resistance. So I mean, what I'm looking for right now is construction, right? We saw that on the monthly. The MACD here on the weekly has also crossed over, which also is looking quite healthy in my opinion. We are also seeing that the RSI basically went into near oversold conditions, which is what we've seen happen in the past here as well on the weekly time frame before breaking out into some of the largest moves in Bitcoin's history, right? So we see that there has been a lot of similarities here into looking like what the chart has in the past before some bottoming formations before Bitcoin's next big run. Let's get this crypto. So from a bullish perspective, I am seeing that this does look quite healthy right now. Again, the only thing for me, really, the only thing for me is this overhead looming resistance. Let's get the alligator off of here for now. It's that red zone here and the 0.618 golden Fibonacci extension target, okay? And we should all be very well aware, okay? Let's do this one first. From 20,000 down to 3,000. Our last market cycle from the 3,000 bottom to the 14K top topped out right around the 0.618 golden fib extension. Okay, that was to be expected. And if you are a longtime subscriber of this channel, when we were up here, I was pointing out, my friends, this could be a danger sign right here that the trend has ended. Right? All the moon boys crying, Kirby, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. You're drawing a fib extension. We're going to the moon. Really, little James, we're going to the moon? My friend, you do whatever you please, my friend. Sit on your couch in that astronaut costume, eating peanuts, chirping at Don Carbonaccio, but it played out the way that I thought it could, okay? And now this one over here, if we take this extension from that 14K top to our roughly 3.8K bottom, we do have right here the 0.618 golden Fibonacci extension right around 10,000, and we've seen the rejection occur at this region multiple times. Look, once, twice, thrice, and then we did briefly get above it on that fake out. Just above it, only to be instantly rejected to trade below it once again. So keep in mind, it's also possible here that the 0.618 fib and the confluence of this red box of historic price action resistance could be enough to send this thing down into the abyss. Let's get this crypto. Now, I think that I've given a very realistic overview of the macro perspective here. So if you do appreciate that, my friends, please leave a thumbs up for the algorithm. It really helps the channel. I so appreciate you, and I hope you appreciate me. And if you haven't already, well, I truly don't know what you're doing, but you should subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, and select all. I do realistic analysis like this nearly on a daily basis, so if you're brand new, welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, select all, and let's get this crypto. So now, you're probably wondering by now, and the moon boys are probably going and saying, what do you mean bad news, Kirby? What about the clickbait thumbnail? It's not clickbait, little James. So what I want to do now is discuss this correlation. Okay, that's the way to put it. A correlation that's a little bit startling. Okay, so let's get into this as well. So now, my friends, obviously, the stock market, right, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, right? We can look at these here. Bitcoin has been in very, very close correlation with these ever since the absolute debacle caused by the global uncertainty, okay? So we've seen that Bitcoin's recovery looked very similar, near identical to what we saw in the equities markets, right? I mean, just take a look, my friends. I mean, it's a V-shaped recovery, very, very similar to what we've seen here, okay? Now, basically, the equities have just continued to go absolutely nuts. And what I want to do here is absolutely take the date here of when Bitcoin started to top out. This was back here around the 7th of May. Okay, so keep that date in mind, May 7th. And let's just take a look here. I'm doing this all on the fly just to give you guys an idea. So May 7th was right here, all right, for the equities, okay? And since that point in time, let's just take a price range tool. Since May 7th, the Dow Jones, to its peak there, went up another 12%. Okay, so Bitcoin has largely been stuck in the same region with price action just chopping, pretty much like this. It was just like this. And the equities have continued to run. Okay, this is a little concerning for me because we haven't seen Bitcoin continue to run. Bitcoin is stuck in this chop, just like the Dow Jones was stuck in that chop right here. But the Dow Jones has continued to progress, right? While Bitcoin has continued to chop. It's a little concerning for me. Now, this just isn't it. This isn't the end. The thing here for me now is the gold chart, my friend. Gold is actually right now selling off. And this, is very difficult to understand the market environment as a whole right now in terms of global equities and risk on and risk off assets. The money printing right now is insane. We're seeing the U.S. is doing it. I believe now we're seeing many other countries around the globe are starting to do this. So right now, you would think that something like gold and Bitcoin would be performing well as the printer goes brrr, right? But it's actually such a unique time. And basically what I'm chalking it up to on a personal level is that there's just so much being printed, so many stimulus packages being created that, as crazy as it sounds, the environment is so risk on that it's keeping equities moving up. Of course, this could change at any moment. This uptrend could break at any time, right? It doesn't have to continue upward. It could, but it doesn't have to. But the environment is now so risk on that we're actually seeing gold sell off. We're seeing the US dollar index here sell off, right? This was when we were at the height of the uncertainty, and this is back to where we are at right now. So we're seeing people getting out of the dollar, right? Fiat currency, and evidently, based on the price action, entering into equities, right? Going from something less risky, right? Which was the popular play a few months ago, and now it's not. And we're seeing the least popular play a few months ago was equities, and now that's the most popular. Gold, on the other hand, is starting to get a little bit of a sell-off here, right? Let's pull it from top to bottom to where we are at now. We've seen over a 5% sell-off, and this is coming with today's large move in the equities markets again. It's a little concerning for me here with Bitcoin because we are not really seeing Bitcoin correlating with that next leg up in the stock market, right? We basically saw a 12% move in the stock market, and Bitcoin is still just chopping. Sure, we had that little fake out to 10,400. My friends, that is a result of an illiquid market, right? You're going to get these little heinous fake outs. This market is more illiquid than you think, right? So the thing is that we haven't seen a correlation there. And to be quite frank with you, it's following, at least in my opinion, today specifically, or rather since here in the top of gold specifically around the 18th of May, Bitcoin has more closely been following risk off assets, right? Gold dumping, US dollar index dumping, right? And we've seen that the equities have just continued to surge. Now, this is a little concerning because for me, Bitcoin has always been risk on, where many people would disagree and say, it's risk off, Kirby. It's like the digital gold. The trading action up until this point in time hasn't shown me that. It's actually shown me quite the opposite. When equities have been running, Bitcoin's been running very risk on. When people look for riskier opportunities, they've been flocking into Bitcoin and equities. When they've looked for, to get off the gas pedal a little bit and take a little risk off the table, they've gone into gold. And right now, risk off is seemingly not the popular play. Risk on is seemingly the popular play. And Bitcoin is not moving up with the risk on popular play. Is this the decoupling right now from the stock market, albeit maybe it's just a temporary one? I think it's possible. And if that is in fact the case, and it's going to resemble something like gold, the developments here are going to be very interesting, because if it's just stocks, and gold continues to sell now, right? And the US dollar index continues to sell off now, this could be very interesting, my friends, as if Bitcoin is going to be clumped into this grouping here of the dollar and the gold, things of that nature, silver as well, right? If we look at silver here on the one-day chart, that has been selling off as well. If Bitcoin is going to be clumped into that grouping, be very interesting to see what's going to happen here with it being at this point of maximum potential rejection. Okay, let's get this crypto. So right now, there's a lot to look at here. Tons of potential bullish development from a macro, weekly, and monthly perspective, but also just a ton of, this is it, right? You see, I have said it once, I'll say it again. This is the line in the sand, in my opinion, my friends. Getting above this region could send this into an absolutely bullish, speculative frenzy, and getting rejected from this point could be an absolute and utter debacle for the price of Bitcoin. But either way, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm looking for plays in both directions, right? And again, if you're not already in my VIP, I keep you guys updated with all of my trade setup ideas, my exact entries, my exact exits, exactly where I'm looking to potentially take profit, things of that nature. I keep you updated around the clock with that in VIP. Right now, I am formulating for my next potential trade. You guys know I've not been in a position here. I've been preaching that day in and day out. This type of chop range is the most difficult to trade in, right? This is where a lot of beginner traders get wrecked trading in a choppy sideways market, right? I am looking for a new potential uptrend to be tentatively confirmed, or a new potential downtrend to tentatively be confirmed by an explosive rip above this range or a devastating decline and rejection from this range. Once I get a better understanding of what I perceive to be the new direction of the trend after it's had a true macro reaction at this region, that's where I believe I'm going to find my perceived edge on the market. Right now, it's very much like a coin flip to me here, and I don't like coin flips, right? I don't have an edge in a coin flip. I don't want a 50-50. I want something that I believe I have a higher probability to succeed than just flipping a coin, right? Let's get this crypto. So if you aren't already in my VIP and you want to see exactly how I'll be setting up my next potential play here, then I will see you in VIP right now after this video, okay? While Average Joe and James at the water cooler continue to get wrecked in this chop here, right? Oh, Curry, look, we're going to the moon. I'm long. Wrecked, stopped out, liquidated, right? Let them play these games here, ladies and gentlemen. Let little Joe, little James get wrecked in the chop. Don Carbonaccio is not looking for these little soup and a sandwich trades, okay? The Don is looking to trade for the whole restaurant. So right now, if you want to see how I'll be setting up my next play, whenever that may be, right? Who knows? We could break out today, tomorrow, a week from now, an hour from now. I'm sitting here, my friends, watching this market around the clock like a hawk with an eagle eye. And if you'd like to see exactly how I'll be setting up my next play when I set it up, I will see you in VIP right now after this video. Today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now after this video. So my friends, with that being said, I'm not pandering for comments here, by the way. I want you to leave a comment and let me know what you think about the correlation between the risk on equities running, right, after this consolidation, right, running, and the risk off assets such as gold dumping and the US dollar index dumping and Bitcoin just being stuck here, right? Let me know. Again, I'm not pandering for comments. Oh, let me know. You know how many people say leave a comment? Let me know. They don't care. They don't care what you comment, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm telling you is I want you to post your thoughts on that. Do you think there is a correlation? It's a very interesting time here, to say the least. So if you could, one last time, my friends, leave a thumbs up for the algorithm. It really helps the channel, and I so appreciate it. Let's get this crypto. And if you're brand new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, and select all. I do analysis like this nearly on a daily basis. So welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, and select all. Let's get this crypto. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all in VIP right now after this video. If you want to see exactly how how I'll be setting up my next trades, exactly where I'll be looking to enter, exactly where I'll be looking to exit, exactly where I'll be looking to potentially take profit. I will see you in VIP right now after this video, okay? Today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. My friends, until next time, be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.